What's going on, guys? Brian here, bringing you guys another live stream. Today we are going to be talking about the Week 1 NFL games. Um, I felt like I kind of gotten off a late start on trying to, what is it? On like making my picks and everything like that. So I figured, like, I know I made the pick for the Chiefs and Texans, but I just didn't have time to really make a full video or anything or live stream of, all my other picks for every other game. So we are going to be like a week behind, -1 game, because we did predict the Chiefs and Texans game pretty well, I might add. But anyway, we're gonna get right down to it. We got the Saints and Buccaneers. So obviously, I'm a Saints fan. So we do have this in the background here. Saints versus Chiefs Super Bowl, calling it. Maybe. It could be. But Chiefs Texans, I think I called that game like near perfect. Other than what I think I said it was going to be 30. It was going to be 35-27. So I was a little off on the Chiefs end, and a touchdown off the Texans end. Overall, decent. Like, the score looks close, but like I said, definitely not like the play between the two teams. Chiefs obviously completely took over the game. Texans, I think throughout the entire NFL, you saw a lot of teams kind of not, it looked like some of the games looked like preseason still. Like, you could tell people are still getting the swing of it, injuries, all that stuff. I don't know, Texans just didn't look too well, and yeah, they scored 20 points, which is, I guess, decent. Call the Super Bowl right now. Well, you already know I got the Saints in there. And honestly, I would honestly Saints Ravens. I think this year, you kind of need. I think we'll be able to see the true great teams by week 3. I think week 3 will show which teams, because some of these teams that lost this week, you can tell look, they just didn't get a lot of things together. Little things like penalties, stuff like that the preseason is supposed to help with, or kind of maintain certain things, communication issues, all that stuff. So there was a lot of things that affected every team, but some of these teams I think could get bounced back. Texans are not one of them. I think DeAndre Hopkins going to Arizona definitely benefited Arizona and really hurt the Texans. And I think it was clear that they couldn't get into a shootout with the Chiefs, and that's what they tried doing. Later on, they tried going for that shootout mentality, and they didn't have that number one guy to really take on that challenge. Your face cam is not lined up with the sound at all. Huh. Yeah, I have no idea why that would be. Because, on, what I'm recording with, it's spot on. But it might be a little off, I guess, on YouTube's end then. Possibly. But I don't know. But, so yeah, I think Chiefs, obviously, I don't think this was a surprise. So, we'll move on. That was Thursday night. And I think that proved that Chiefs are still a competitor, and Texans, well, they're gonna need to play some good football. I don't know, it be like that sometimes. It really do. It really do be like that. And I just looked up and I just saw the Saints get an 80-yard touchdown. Kind of crazy. Um, Next Sunday we have we're gonna go to the Rams and Cowboys. Kind of going out of order. I know they played like later, but I, I felt like this was just the game that like Cowboys are kind of doing it again, where Ezekiel Elliott should be their focus on this team. He runs hard. He's a great running back, probably one of the best running backs in the league, like if not the best. Like I mean, I know you got Christian McCaffrey, uh, David Hen or yeah, Derrick Henry. So you have like really great running backs in the NFL, but like he is one of them. Like you have to give him it. You have to feed him more. Stop relying on Dak so much. And I honestly think like if Cowboys keep this up, they're gonna be bottom tier team again. Dak's gonna get garbage stats again, like garbage time stats where they're already blown out and they're just gonna kind of he's just gonna get good yards just because it's 30-0. But Cowboys, I think they're really in trouble right now with them boys. Not the Cowboys. Rams, I think just played a little bit better of a game. I don't think either team didn't blow me away on what they could do. Um, I just think Rams played cleaner and more fitting with it. I mean, Cowboys kind of messed up not taking the field goal and all, but you know, I think I don't see either of these teams like great, but I think Rams have a higher ceiling on what they could become. Cowboys, they gotta get an identity kind of situation going because they didn't they were running decently, and then they're just like, yeah, Dak will carry this team, and he can't. Um, so next we got Cardinals 49ers. This was a surprise to me, um, but I mean Kyler Murray isn't bad, you know. So I don't think you could. I don't think a lot of people could take if it was just him and Larry Fitzgerald, I could see how teams could take this or how people could take this team as a joke. But when you add arguably the one of the best wide receivers in the league on there, he has a legit number one young talent. Larry Fitzgerald obviously is great still, and still plays his heart out. But you know, I mean, he's still one of the top players, receivers. I think any team, if he were to hit open market, I think any team would love to have him for leadership, uh, play. Like he's an overall still great player. Um, so I think Cardinals kind of put it together. 49ers struggled. Um, I think this is one of those games that okay, Cardinals proved they could win, but 49ers I think can rebound off of a lot that happened in this game and move forward. Um, Chargers winning 16-13 against Bengals. Um, I mean the takeaway of this game is I don't think okay, Burrow, yeah, he did well. Okay, there's not I'm not taking that away from him, but on both the Chargers and Bengals end, scoring 16 or 13 points against some of these top tier teams, and they're in the AFC. So you're talking to get past the Chiefs, Ravens, you know, even the Patriots. Or the Titans. So you're talking about four top, um, four of the top, what's it called, teams in in each division, and they can't outscore them. And so I think there's a lot to be seen from both these teams. Are these just bottom tier teams? They just so happen to play each other first, and we'll kind of go from there with them, or was this actually a solid game? So because Chargers, yeah, they're okay, but like, did Joe Burrow really do as good as what people think? Like I said, I think by week 3 we can kind of take some teams out of the hunt. We could really sort who's a threat in the NFL. Some of the teams made it clear that they are still good, but some teams like Chargers and Bengals, are they bad? Like, are they both bad, or and like it just so happened the better bad team won? Or like are these teams actually good and it was actually a good battle? It's kind of hard to tell. Seahawks Falcons. This is another one that I just feel like Seahawks are in it to win it kind of thing. I mean, I don't think Falcons, like, even when they were bad, with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, this team can still put up points. Um, but Seahawks took control of this game, and I think Russell Wilson's becoming, well, I mean, not that he wasn't already one of the best players in the league. Like, he's kind of just taken it over, and like, clear win and everything. So this is a kind of another one. I'm not surprised at all by the score. I think it proves that Seahawks were ready and Falcons need help. But on the scoring side of things, like, if you're the Seahawks, okay, maybe you have to tighten up your defense a little bit. Falcons, you're gonna have to make some defensive adjustments. Otherwise, it's gonna be a rough 15 more weeks. Ravens beating Browns 38-6. This is one that, like, I don't even know anymore. Like, you think a team will be decent, like the Browns, you think they would come out and at least put up a fight occasionally, and they put up 6 points. This is a team that I don't think needed the preseason. Like, some of the teams, like, okay, they need preseason, get together, work with their young quarterback, something like that. But Browns, I don't know. I kind of am losing my faith in them. I always, like, the past couple of years, I thought they might be decent, and they kind of really disappointed when it came to facing good teams. Um, Ravens, on the other hand, you could tell they were ready. Their whole team was great, and obviously seemed like not even close of a game. Won this game, you know. So next we have 17. I think Bills are one of the teams that I think can keep themselves in any game. Um, I honestly, I think if they play their cards right, they can end up like in a decent spot, like for playoffs or getting like pushed through inside the playoffs and everything like that. Um, I think if they just kind of keep themselves in the game, can this team go out and win a shootout? I'm not sure. I think this team relies like as a total team effort where the offense has to score decently and the defense has to stop the other team pretty well for them to have a chance to win it. Um, this game I felt like they did pretty well and obviously came out on top, so I don't think they can complain about that. Uh, Raiders beating Panthers 34-30. My biggest takeaway of this is I didn't know Panthers could even score 30 points. Like, it kind of opened my eyes. Like, okay, are the Raiders bad because the Panthers scored 30? Because I mean, I know they have Christian McCaffrey, but like, I honestly took Panthers as more of a joke. Like, all right, Christian McCaffrey might break off like 200 rushing yards, 2-3 touchdowns, and that's all they have. I mean, obviously defense is a joke for them. Both, I think Raiders and Panthers, to be honest. Um, but Raiders, I honestly didn't know that they could put up those points either. Um, so I think, honestly, I think Panthers, this is their peak performance, and they will go downhill, and Raiders will actually improve. a little bit to actually stand a chance against other teams. Bears Lions. Lions messed this one up bad. Um, you can say what you want about Trubisky with his 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but like honestly, like if anyone was going to screw this game up, it was going to be the Lions. Like Lions are just a joke at this point. Like you lost to the Bears that like literally don't know what's going on with themselves. Like they're literally just looking at their quarterbacks and it's like I guess he'll start, I guess he'll start, maybe he'll start, maybe him. Like they don't know what's going on. Detroit like says they know what's going on and then only put up 23 points and should have won the game, but the guy dropped it. Bears got lucky, and this is kind of one of them that I hope they start Nick Foles next week because I want to see Nick Foles compared to Trubisky, and I think like Bears fans or anything like that don't know where they're at, but I think Bears fans want to know what Nick Foles can do. You paid the money for him, you got him. Like something like stabbed me. Something was like in my mouth at like my throat. Anyway, but yeah, I think Detroit, they might keep themselves in some games, but honestly, I don't see them doing much. And Bears, I mean, I don't know. I think if Trubisky can throw 3 touchdowns in every fourth quarter, they might be decent. But I honestly, I don't even want to see that. I don't want to see crap football for 3 quarters and then see a game. Um, so I don't know. Really, both teams I think are like, I think Bears overall are bad. Detroit let this one slide. So does like, which one do you really say took away this win? Because Detroit handed it to them, and like Trubisky threw 3 touchdowns against the Lions. So like, are Lions that bad? That's what I'm saying. Jaguars beating Colts 27-20. Minshew Mania's back. I don't even know. Like this is one that I think both of these teams will be solid, will stand a chance. I think they're gonna be that middle of the team pack, that might win 9 games, might like be just under 500. But I think both of these teams have a chance to do like compete against anybody. So I mean honestly, I just think Minshew just had a lot in them today or that on Sunday to get them a few more points to beat the Colts. That's honestly how I feel. I feel like either team could have like this score could have been flipped, and it would have like I would have thought the same thing. Packers beating Vikings 43-34. I think defense is going to be a big problem for Packers. I think Rodgers is going to slow down as the year goes on. The offense is going to slow down in general, and that defense is going to be exposed. That they're going to give up the 34 points, and now the Packers' offense is only going to score 28. So now they might have a bad game where they only score 2 touchdowns. So now it's going to be 35-14. So now they're going to get blown out of games. So honestly, I think a team like the Packers, you have to run the football and really manage the clock. And I think Vikings chose the shootout option, and that wasn't too smart of them. Anyway, Patriots beating Dolphins 21-11. I didn't write down. I'm pretty sure it was 11. Um, but Cam Newton looked decent for the Patriots. I think this is exactly how Tom Brady needed to play. If he went back to the Patriots, just literally giving your team the little bit of touchdowns, and Belichick's defense can handle the rest. That's all. That's all the Patriots ever needed. Their defense was always solid. Yeah, it was closer to the Dolphins than what probably a lot of people thought. But it is a new quarterback. A lot of new things are going into this season. So I think Patriots handled it well, and I think if anything, only like Cam Newton, if he just keeps playing like this, Patriots will only get better. If he tries being too fancy or worsens, this team could be in very big trouble. But he just needs to play smart, accurate football, and the Patriots will be fine. Dolphins, on the other hand, yeah. Washington, the football team versus Eagles, beating them 27-17. Crazy to think that the football team won this one. Like, the football team, not a football team, the football team is number one in the East. That's kind of weird, and I don't know. I would not have guessed it. I thought Eagles were gonna win this one, but I think I was kind of just surprised the fact that Eagles just didn't do anything right. Like, they didn't play like a solid defensive game. They didn't play a solid offensive game. Like, scoring 17 points against a team that like wasn't even projected to be even somewhat good. Like, even to be taken as like a decent team this year, and you lose to like that. I don't know. I just don't see. I didn't see that one coming, honestly. So, football team, good job. And like I said, I think in a few weeks we can really say whether or not this they are good, or like week one was just a joke, just a fluke. Um, Finally, we'll get into this game that's actually showing on your guys' left. Um, and that's the Saints against Buccaneers, in which Saints won 34-23. And like I said, I don't think the score looked a lot better, more for in the Bucks' favor. Like, it looked like, oh, they only lost by 11 points, like it was a close game. The way the Buccaneers played that game was awful. Like, if there was the effects of not having a preseason and sloppy football, opening game, had a you had to describe that to somebody, you would show them this game. A team that's loaded with talent, actually got touchdowns and stuff, so you can't take that away from them. But overall, giving up 34 points, pick six, another interception of miscommunication, penalties, blocked block kick, muff punt or muff kickoff that the guy bad communication, goes up to try getting the ball, it hits off his hands. Don't know why he even did that. But I think Saints, yeah, they Michael Thomas got hurt, but honestly Michael Thomas wasn't a factor in this game. He had a couple big catches that I don't think a lot of receivers could have, those tight catches, and he'd just get wrecked. But he'd just come up and be like, yeah, I caught that. He had some of those catches this game, but overall, I think Saints played very mildly. They didn't come in and fling the ball around. They had some good plays, but I think throughout the entire NFL there weren't anything crazy. They were all kind of okay, let's take it easy, and and I felt like Saints did, and they still showed so much more potential than the Bucks. Buccaneers have a lot to fix, and I think it's going to take more than just 1 week to fix all those problems. We will get into Monday Night Football now with the doubleheader. Titans against, or I guess we'll start with Steelers Giants since that was technically the first game. So Steelers won 26-16. I think this is exactly how people thought. Ben Roethlisberger looked good. He looked ready to come back, and they closed it out with the touchdown, kind of steal the whole game for them. I think it was closer than what people thought, but it was Ben Roethlisberger's coming back. So I think Steelers played solid, and I think if they kind of keep this momentum going, they could build so much more and be so much better. Giants, on the other hand, I think are one of those teams that, if a team doesn't try, they might stay in the game, but they're still going to lose that game. So I really don't know what to think of the Giants. I always want to think that the NFL shouldn't have terrible teams. They're professionals. They shouldn't be awful at what they're doing. But Giants are one of those teams that I feel like I don't know. I just don't have any trust in the Giants to do anything this year, even with a iffy division of what's going to happen with that. I just don't trust them. And then finally, Titans Broncos finishing up week 1. Titans winning 16-14, game-winning field goal. After 4 missed field goals. I think it was 3. Well, 1 miss. No, I think it was 1 miss and 2 blocked kicks or tip kicks. So Titans, they needed a lot better things on special teams. But I mean, if you gave them even just 2 more field goals, this would have been a 22-14 game. And now instead you replace maybe one of them, one of those 3 field goal attempts, with a touchdown, and they make another field goal. I think Titans, if they clean up their red zone and being able, on the opponent's side of the field, if they clean the plays up and how they play football over there, and they start getting touchdowns, Titans could be a legit top tier team. They obviously got to fix the special teams issues, but overall, I think Titans. This game was so much closer than what it should have been. Titans could have blown them away if they were better at finishing drives. But Broncos, I mean, they kept them. Yeah, they did tip the balls, So Broncos did show up, but honestly, do I think would I say the Broncos have enough firepower to beat some of the top teams in the NFL? No. I just don't see that. Do I see them competing against teams like the Raiders, or I wouldn't even say the Raiders, because I think Raiders proved that they could score. Teams I think them against the Dolphins, Browns might be a decent game. Chargers, Bengals, teams like that. I think the Broncos might have a chance, but against a legit team, I just don't see that even being a thought that the Broncos could do something. And Drew Lock, yeah, sure, he looked decent, but you scored 14 points against a team that really gave you this game. Literally, you just needed a field goal. You needed a field goal, and you would have won. But instead, you had the win, and then Titans kicked up and it's all right, we'll go again for a field goal, and they make this one. So Broncos, yeah, you got into the situation where you could have won, but then you also lost it. So I don't know. I don't really believe in the Broncos doing anything. I especially in that division, with the Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers. Like I think Chargers are better than the Broncos, and then Raiders, and then Chiefs. So I don't really see that. But we're kind of gonna wait till this game ends as well. So we are gonna kind of talk about some big things that are going on in the NFL. Um, as far as like how Week 1 I think affected every team. Um, and I think the biggest thing is like well, I guess injuries. There's been a lot of injuries. Um, obviously, this is a lot of them, rookies. This is their first NFL experience, and they're Step Yeager, F. Tom Brady. I mean, I have grown to respect him, like for what he's done, but I also don't think he did it alone. Like I think Bill Belichick was one of the reasons. Like I don't think you can argue the fact that Tom Brady would be just as good, or just as successful if he didn't have Bill Belichick. That's all I'm saying. I think that's how you spell that loser's name. I mean, I honestly I don't think you can call him a loser. This year, yes. This year, yes. He is 0-1 this year, but yeah, we're going to talk about that game a little bit more, I think, because I am a Saints fan. I mean, I'm not even going to go there because just, I think this affected everybody. Like, I think communication and, routes and all that, I think everyone was kind of all over the place. There weren't really flashy plays. I felt a lot of teams looked like they were just kind of doing these check down plays, like little 4-yard, 5-yard plays. There was, and then obviously the occasional deep ball or something like that. But I felt like there was nothing. It didn't look like the NFL that we kind of all knew. Did you see the game? Tampa Bay Bruce. I did see the game. That was the only game, or I did watch the Chiefs and Texans game, and then a little bit of the Steelers Giants game, towards the end. Saints won. That score was better than what it looked. As far as it looked better for the Buccaneers, but really Saints were years ahead of what the Buccaneers were doing that game. I'm talking harder than. Oh, chill. We don't have that in these chats. We don't have that in these chats. We are calm. But I don't know. I think communication between anyone on the offense as well as defense. I think defenses. I think they gave up a lot of these. Okay, I'll re-say it. But I don't know. I think I don't think you can take so much away of this other than teams that you thought were going to be good this year, like Seahawks. I always think Seahawks it hits harder than a beat. There you go. There you go. But I mean, Chiefs obviously you knew they were good, but what did they do? They showed that the Texans really aren't that good without DeAndre Hopkins. What's his name? Deshaun Watson. I didn't really think he looked that great. So I don't know. I think there was so many teams that on both sides, if you want to take the teams that won or the teams that lost, there's so many things that can easily flip on them. Both defensively and offensively, both, whatever. But I think teams like the Titans showed that all they need to do is fix a little bit of things, and they could be one of the best teams. Steelers get a little bit more explosive. They could be right up there, like blowing teams out. Um, I like three teams: Cowboys, Saints, and Chiefs. I disagree with you on the Cowboys part. I mean, I don't like the Chiefs, but like I admit they are good. And then Saints are my team, so like obviously I'll agree with you on that. Cowboys, they just got. I think they're a team that needs to rely on Ezekiel Elliott more, and I think they refuse to think that. I think everyone's still focused on this Dak Prescott issue with paying him, not paying him, how much should he be worth? Forget about it. Like, people, when they came into the league, Dak was pretty solid and Ezekiel Elliott was pretty solid. That's why they were both like 1 and 2 when it came to Rookie of the Year, because they worked together, they complemented each other's play styles. Ezekiel Elliott would get going, Dak would hit something over the middle, they'd go back to Zeke, he'd get another 10 yards, they throw it, another 10 yards. They were very solid together. And then now it's like, okay, Ezekiel Elliott needs a contract. Boom, he breaks free and everything like that. And then now Prescott is that issue of, all right, what should we pay him? So now they like are overusing Dak Prescott to see what value he has of this team, and getting 17 points against the Rams, I don't think is showing that you should be paid as the highest player and you would make the biggest difference whether you win or lose. Because Ezekiel Elliott, he ran pretty good that game. Sure, maybe the Cowboys suck, but they can try. They ain't gonna make it, let's be honest. Yeah, that's true. But like, I don't know. I think the Cowboys and I think that's honestly for a lot of teams is, and the players is like, including them, like, you play good and play what the team needs and what they should be doing, you'll get paid. If you are an asset to a team, they will pay you. Like, I mean, you look at like great players and stuff like that, they'll find a way to pay you. If Chiefs like in Chiefs situation, obviously Mahomes was the right move on paying him that way. Now, he obviously has a long way to see if he did deserve that contract, because anything can happen. He's great right now, but a lot of things can change in a year. So, right now, I think he deserves it. Deshaun Watson, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. If I got paid only thousands, I'll still take it. I mean, like, back in the day, that's what it was. It was, okay, here's a couple $1,000s, but now if you are another quarterback and, okay, that last quarterback only threw 4 touchdowns, you threw 5. So now you have the NFL record for most passing touchdowns. Like, hold on, I'm better than that guy. Like, touchdowns is what wins this game. I have more of them than that guy, and he's getting paid more than me. I should be getting paid more than him. So now if he gets paid more, a running back comes and he's like, hey, look, I have the same amount of passing touchdowns as this guy who's making more than me. You guys are using me more, and I'm still winning this game, and I'm running down this clock. So now they're like, all right, we'll pay you more. So now he's the standard. Like, there's so many, and eventually it just became into such ridiculous numbers of, instead of when you're talking about thousands, you're talking about hundreds of millions. So like now, instead of saying, hey, that quarterback, threw for 5,000 passing yards, he's making 100 million. I'm only making 20 million. I should be getting like over what he's making. So like that's obviously why cap is increasing and all that stuff. So like, but honestly, like, I I don't know. I feel like there's just so much. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, I think a lot of players, and obviously it is their livelihood, like their finance and all that. And I'm gonna go take a shower, be back, fam. I'm gonna be done in 2 minutes. As soon as this game ends, the stream's gonna be over. I'm probably gonna hop on Warzone and probably stream Warzone for a little bit. So I've been trying to get back into that. I've been having fun. But if I don't see you, have a good night. Thanks for supporting the stream. Anything like that. But yeah, I think a lot of these teams, like some of them showed what they were and what we knew they were. Other teams, kind of like the Buccaneers, I think have a lot to work on, and that they could be good, but they need to fix a lot. And then there's other teams that it was clear they weren't good, and week one showed that. So on the whole spectrum of great teams and terrible teams, we got everything this week, and now it's, we'll see if these teams bounce back or repeat what they did in week one, and only time will really tell with that. The weird thing about this is I was going to get Madden 21, but like I'd rather show gameplay of Madden 20 Madden 20, and like risk the like maybe backlash I'll take, or like, hey, that's Jameis Winston, not Tom Brady throwing. Like, yeah, sorry, I'm not spending $60 on an updated roster. Sorry. But yeah, that's just my thought on that whole situation. Let me know what you guys think. As far as like who you guys think are going to go all the way. Who do you think's a joke in this league? Who do you think has a chance? Who your favorite team is? Literally anything. Anything you guys want to get in conversation about in the comments would be much appreciated. We only got a little left. Honestly, at this rate, the Buccaneers look about the same. That's very true. I don't even know. What is it? 43 minutes? We actually. I don't even. I mean, at this point, I think the Saints do win. I don't really think there's really anything you can really say about it. But so we are gonna end the stream here. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. Comment below any other things you want to see from me. Feedback on this stream would be also very much appreciated. Any topics or concerns or anything like that you guys have coming for the NFL, you can please put them in the comments, and I'll get back to you guys as well. But yeah, if you're new to my channel, it means you guys did hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys all next